Dear friends, good day. Today we will talk about what is communication at work, communication type in details, how to improve it, how to improve public speaking. What are communication barrier? What are the common mistake we make in communication? Watch this video till end for full understanding of communication skill. It is an individual or personal skill of understanding by listening and expressing himself. How you align your mind thoughts, ear hearing, and mouth expressing. If there is a gap between these, then there is noise between communication, means there is incomplete communication. Workplace communication is an essential function of any productive business environment. Yet 86% of employees and executives blame the lack of effective collaboration and communication as the leading cause of errors in the workplace. This needs to be evaluated and corrected. Communication is what we say, what we listen to. Words do not have meaning. They have value and use according to the situation in which they are put. I didn't, he didn't tell, just said, he said, this said, he was speaking. Then we react. Means without listening and understanding the whole thing. The same thing gets worse when we are not able to respond because we do not know what was the communication. This life is also just a pillar of communication because no one fights with sword or hands, they fight with their tongue and become calm. Negative and positive effect of communication. We should know, 52% more stress for employees, 44% failure to complete a project, 31% low employee morale, 25% missed performance goals, 18% lost in sales. Take communication in a positive way. Only a person had good communication stands out, so this is an add-on factor to enhance your personality along with other personal skills. The workplace may see as much as a 25% increase in their productivity. As per US firm Gartner, poor communication accounts for 70% of corporate errors. In an organization, different management levels exist. Your management head executes the plan work, and middle management had to plan, but plan to be communicated to lower as well as upper management, then getting feedback and responding to the results, and upper management had to play the role of a leader, which require a different level of communication. Lower management, like engineers, should good listening and communication skill to understand the objective of upper management. Then it comes middle management. Managers must have good listening and verbal communication skills, so that they can make to understand the different levels of management, then giving clear directions to the individuals who are most suited to the task. Management has the role of leader. They should have good listening power, verbal communication, and good speaking skills so that they can motivate all members of their team. Individual skills play a big role in our personal and professional life. Communication skill is a verbal form of communication skill. Transparency, the flow of correct information, increases commitment, enhances productivity, avoids conflict or ego. Personal skill is a form of listening and responding. Communication skills, like experience, expertise, qualification, behavior, patience, acceptability, adaptability, flexibility, creativity, social upbringing, society or surrounding you are living, etc. Circumstantial skill, it is my new thought of skill, a sudden unexpected situation you never thought of. I will relate it to willpower, determination, mental toughness, analytical approach, and learning how you tackle these circumstances. These are stubborn skills. Type of communication skill, communication can be one-to-one, in group, or maybe in public. Always remember thumb rule: preparation, reseal 3 times for good communication skill. Oral communication, verbal communication are often seen as the only way to promote effective communication. In manufacturing industry, approximately 93% of effective communication is nonverbal, while spoken words account for only 7%. Written communication, electronic mail, WhatsApp, social media, signboard, memos, employee manuals, written company policies, faxes, instant messages, letters, notice, online forms, etc. is also a popular mode of communication, with 93% using it on a daily basis. Presentation, presenting information clearly and effectively, is a key skill in getting your message across. It is possible to improve your presentation skills with a bit of work. It may be a brief speech or PowerPoint, keynote presentation. Prepare effectively by knowing your audience with clear message. Never overrun your allocated time. Active listening. Listening involves receiving sound, understanding the message conveyed in the sounds you hear, evaluating the message, and responding to it. Could be anyone from your boss, a client, customer, co-worker, subordinate, upper management, board member, interviewer, or job candidate. Nonverbal communication includes facial expressions, the tone and pitch of the voice, gestures displayed through body language, kinesics, and the physical distance between the communicators, proxemics. And these give additional information, about 70 to 80%, over and above spoken, verbal, communication. Feedback is your audience's response. It enables you to evaluate the effectiveness of your message, and whether he agrees to that message or not. Company takes feedback from their employees, such as employee surveys, memos, emails, open door policies, company newsletter, etc. Focus on a particular behavior and ensure understanding, like attention, eye contact, head movement, hand movement, sense the all. How to improve oral communication skill: know your audience, with whom you had to interact. Organize your material, and do research on what and how to talk or speak. Organize your thoughts. Prepare in advance. Prepare himself what to talk, speech. Be attentive to feedback and adapt to it, by asking whether understood or not, and encouraging if not understood. Pause, and pitch, low, high, so that the listener can focus and give empathizes with important things. Fluency: fast, pause, to attain their focus, and must remember that words per minute should be such that the listener can understand easily. Empathizes on important words. Pronunciation: it should be correct to understand my audience. Grabs attention, as the listening focus remains of max 20 minutes. Grab attention by pitch low, high, use gestures, questions, etc. Moreover, be confident. When we communicate verbally, we swap words that have, maybe subtly, different meanings to different people in different contexts. It could be argued that words are in fact just tokens we exchange with each other and that they have no inherent meaning at all. See Philosophy and Rhubarb for light-hearted discussion in this area. We can communicate the same thing to different individuals, but each person may have a different understanding or interpretation of the message. Good communication has thumb rules of 3 volts. 1. Verbal, content, type of message delivery and how much you are prepared for a relevant topic. Speech: how you speak. Start, closing speech, golden statement. Example: inspire, excitement, love, connect, pleasant environment. Yes. No question. Verbal skill contribute 30% in communication. 2. Vocal, tone: high, low tone, maintaining energy. Vocal skill contribute 25% in communication. 3. Visual, appearance, body posture, clothes, presentation material, and body language you use. Visual skill contribute 45% in communication. Public speaking is the process of communicating information to a live audience. In business, public speaking falls into several major categories. 1. External speeches. These are delivered to investors, suppliers, and other parties that don't directly work for the company. 2. Internal speeches. Theses are delivered to employees. 3. Meetings and presentations. Meetings and presentations are much less formal. Having good public speaking skills at an internal meeting can be very important for your career. Great public speaking should consist of good start, closing speech, masterfully construct by using words that are both beautiful to hear. High, low energy, frequency, tone, frequency, and delivery, energy level, impact and grabs the attention of the audience. Use examples, example, impact and change opinions, minds and hearts and results in a lingering effect on the audience. Inspire, excitement, love, use motivational quotes and examples of area. Here area may be an organization, locality, local society, state, or country, so that audience gets inspiration. Feel a connection, know the audience in advance, identify the listener's needs, tell a personal story, smile, and be happy. Create a pleasant environment, always smile and be happy, and ask yes or no questions, so that they can understand better. Nonverbal communication helps people to reinforce or modify what is said in words, provide feedback to the other person, and also regulate the flow of communication. It conveys information about people's emotional states. There are many different types of nonverbal communication. They include facial expressions, including smiling, frowning, and blinking, are very hard to control consciously. Interestingly, the broad facial expressions that show strong emotions, such as fear, anger, and happiness, are the same throughout the world. Gestures convey messages. They are voluntary, and sometimes involuntary, movements we make with the fingers, hands, arms, legs, head, or other parts of the body in a way that conveys the meaning of if interested, in denial mode, need, agree, mood, feelings, etc. Paralinguistics are vocal signals beyond verbal messages. It includes accent, pitch, volume, speech rate, modulation, and fluency. Body language and posture, arms crossed across the chest, smile, tapping your fingers, tilting your head to one side, steepling your fingers, crossing your legs, pulling your ear, putting your head in your hands, standing up straight, gesturing with your hands open and palms up, eye contact, looking down, rubbing your hands together, twisting your hair, micro-expressions, walking briskly, placing your hand on your cheek, rubbing your eye. Rubbing or touching your nose, standing with your hands clasped behind your back, pinching the bridge of your nose, standing with your hands on your hips. Appearance, the way we dress, groom, and present ourselves physically, communicates meaning. Physical attractiveness stereotype in our society. Your personal appearance should match your communicative objective. Artifacts are physical objects, such as clothing you wear, your home, its size, locality, and the type of cars you own, that indicate to others a person's personal and social beliefs and habits. Messages are thus conveyed in a nonverbal manner. Your facial expression, your tone of voice, and your body language can often tell people exactly how you feel, even if you have hardly said a word. Consider how often you have said to someone, written communication. 67% of managers feel uncomfortable with face-to-face or verbal communication with employees, so use written communication. 92% of employees believe negative feedback is an effective way to improve performance. It increases the responsibility, reduces excuse, and there is a lot of attributes while writing depending on which department, finance, operation, etc. 1. Transactional written communication. It can be a quick clarification, a request for a meeting, or an asking for a favor. The whole point is to get a response from the person to the message was sent to. Informational written communication. The sender delivers a message for the people or group of people's benefit. There is no response needed. 3. Instructional written communication gives receivers directions for a specific task. The format is more important than the method. Typically, instructions involve a step-by-step process. Good listening communication, paying attention involves holding eye contact, nodding, having good posture, and mirroring the speaker's body language to show genuine interest in what they're saying. You must also allow the speaker to finish their thought in its entirety. Reflection and responding. Reflection is the repeating and paraphrasing of what the speaker has said to show that you truly understand what they're telling you. Listening requires the ability to decode and interpret verbal messages and nonverbal cues, like the tone of voice, facial expressions, and physical posture. Active listeners also show their curiosity by asking questions. Examples of effective listening. A manager summarizes what her team has said during a staff meeting and asks them if she has heard things correctly. When your listening skills need improvement, interrupting indicates that your listening skills are underdeveloped. Talking too much is also problematic, as proper conversations should be well balanced, with every party involved getting equal time to speak. Being distracted, looking distracted is also a quality of a poor listener. This could involve anything from avoiding eye contact to checking your phone or watching while someone else is talking. How to improve communication skill. Always remember the thumb rule: preparation, rehearsal, 3 times, depending upon one-to-one, group, and public. Improve analytical approach, why analysis, brainstorming. Improve listening skills by paying attention while listening, understanding to other first. Improve speaking fluently first, reading, listening, increase vocabulary. 1. Learn to listen means not only paying attention to the words being spoken but also how they are being spoken and the non-verbal messages sent with them. Good listeners use the techniques of clarification and reflection to confirm what the other person has said and avoid any confusion. 2. Studying and understanding non-verbal communication. It includes, for example, tone and pitch of the voice, body movement, eye contact, posture, facial expression, and even physiological changes, such as sweating. 3. Emotional awareness and management. It is easy to fall into the trap of thinking, so awareness of emotions, both positive and negative, can definitely improve communication. This understanding of our own and others' emotions is known as emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence dived into. Personal skills include self-awareness, self-regulation, and motivation. The social skills include empathy and social skills. Each one of these is broken down into more skills. For example, self-awareness consists of emotional awareness, accurate self-assessment, and Self-confidence. Empathy is the ability to feel with others, to share their emotions and understand them. It includes understanding others, developing them, having a service orientation, valuing and leveraging diversity, and political awareness. 4. Questioning skills. Questioning is a crucial skill to ensure that you have understood someone's message correctly. If you do not understand the message or the message is unclear, ask questions to clarify what they have heard and understood. Avoid jargon. Focus on the meaning of the message you want to communicate. 5. Using humor. Laughing releases endorphins that can help relieve stress and anxiety. Don't be afraid to be funny or clever, but do ensure your humor is appropriate to the situation. Use your sense of humor to break the ice, lower barriers and gain the affection of others. By using appropriate humor you will be perceived as more charismatic. 6. Treat people equally. Do not talk about others behind their backs and try not to develop favorites. By treating people as your equals and also equal to each other, you will build trust and respect. If confidentiality is an issue, make sure its boundaries are known and ensure its maintenance. 7. Attempt to resolve conflict. Maintain a positive attitude and smile. Do not simply say the first thing that comes into your head. Instead, take a moment and pay close attention to what you say and how you say it. 8. Minimize stress. Some communication scenarios are, by their nature, stressful. Stress can, however, be a major barrier to effective communication. All parties should therefore try to remain calm and focused. Communication is said to be good if it's, in a respectful manner, be presentable, have confidence in your voice and body language, clearly state what you want to convey, should be honest. It helps in developing good attributes like kindness, discipline, truthfulness, moral integrity, creating friendliness in public speaking.
कम्युनिकेशन करते वक्त हमेशा ध्यान रखें। श्रीमद् भगवद गीता 17 श्लोक 15। अनुद्वेगकरण वाक्यं सत्यं प्रियहितं च यत् स्वाध्यायाभ्यसनं चैव वाङ्मयं तप। सत्यं ब्रूयात् प्रियं ब्रूयात् न ब्रूयात् सत्यं अप्रियं। प्रियं च नानृतं ब्रूयात् एष धर्मः सनातन। सत्य को इस प्रकार से कहना चाहिए जिससे दूसरों को प्रसन्नता हो। सत्य को इस प्रकार नहीं बोलना चाहिए जिससे किसी अन्य का अहित हो। कभी भी असत्य नहीं बोलना चाहिए यद्यपि यह आनंददायक ही क्यों न हो। यह नैतिकता और धर्म का शाश्वत मार्ग है।
Avoid while communication. 1. The use of jargon. Avoid jargon when explaining something to a layperson means a person has a different profession or society. For example, doctors can use medical jargon with one another but must speak with patients differently. 2. Physical barriers to non-verbal communication. Electronic communication can result in conclusion of the gesture or can't judge intention if not face-to-face, reducing commitment. 3. Language barriers. Language and linguistic ability may act as a barrier to communication. A message that includes a lot of specialist jargon and abbreviations will not be understood by a receiver who is not familiar with the terminology used. 4. Psychological barriers. The psychological state of the communicators will influence how the message is sent, received, and perceived. If someone is stressed, they may be preoccupied with personal concerns and not as receptive to the message as if they were not stressed. Anger is another example of a psychological barrier to communication. When we are angry, it is easy to say things that we may later regret and also to misinterpret what others are saying. More generally, people with low self-esteem may be less assertive and therefore may not feel comfortable communicating. They may feel shy or embarrassed about saying how they really feel or read unintended negative subtexts in messages they hear. Physiological barriers. 5. Physiological barriers to communication may result from the receiver's physical state. Lack of attention, interest, distractions, or irrelevance to the receiver. Physical disabilities such as hearing problems or speech difficulties. Expectations and prejudices may lead to false assumptions or stereotyping. Cultural differences. 6. Systematic barriers, where there are inefficient or inappropriate information systems and communication channels, or where there is a lack of understanding of the roles and responsibilities for communication. In such organizations, people may be unclear of their role in the communication process and therefore not know what is expected of them. 7. Attitudinal barriers. Attitudinal barriers to communication may result from personality conflicts, poor management, resistance to change, or a lack of motivation. 8. Stress, state of stress, also chance of react rather than respond in communication. 9. Timing. Timing is fundamental to successful communication. As well as considering a suitable time to hold a conversation, you should make sure that there is enough time to cover all that is needed, including time to clarify and negotiate. Talking to an employee about a strategic decision 5 minutes before they have to leave the office for the day, for example, would probably not be as successful as having the same conversation the following morning. 10. Location. It should be fairly obvious that communication is going to be less effective if it is conducted in a noisy, uncomfortable, or busy place. Such places have many distractions and often a lack of privacy. Common mistakes in communication. 1. Taking a one-size-fits-all approach. When communicating with a group, you may need to consider several different approaches to get your message across to everyone. 2. Failing to pay attention to the tone. There are two aspects to this. First, the actual tone of your voice can give away a great deal of information about your feelings. For example, a sharp tone often betrays impatience and can sound very dismissive. You can avoid this by simply taking a deep breath before speaking, to give yourself time to respond more reflectively. Second, tone deaf. It means that they say the wrong thing at the wrong time, or in the wrong way. This can be both in writing, in speech, or even in text messaging. 3. Not being prepared to speak up about your own wants and needs. It is important to be respectful of the needs of others. However, it is also important to be prepared to speak up about what you want and need. If you don't do this, nobody will know about your needs and will find them very difficult to respect. 4. Failing to check that you have understood. It is vital to check that you have correctly understood other people's meanings. Techniques like reflection enable you to show the speaker what you have heard, including any emotional undertones. Effective questioning can uncover any hidden areas of potential misunderstanding, and is an important way to clarify your understanding. 4. Not having an open mind. Unfortunately, it is all too easy to close your mind to others. Also called echo chamber effect of social media, means that we tend to hear our own views amplified and echoed back to us. However, it is important to open your mind to diversity. Everyone is different, and diversity strengthens both teams and workplaces. It also enriches everyone's life. 5. Avoiding difficult conversations. Nobody likes having difficult conversations. Nobody wants to tell anyone that they have been made redundant, that their performance is inadequate, or that their personal hygiene needs attention. 6. Speaking more than you listen. Communication is a two-way process. As people become more senior in organizations, or even just older, they tend to assume, often unconsciously, that their opinions, and the information they wish to impart, are more important. They forget that other people also have important information to communicate. 7. Letting your emotions take control. Don't simply react emotionally to what you are hearing. Take a moment to reflect and respond thoughtfully, as well as emotionally. Words spoken in anger are seldom forgotten, even if forgiven. 8. Not checking that you have been understood. If your message is not heard and understood, it will not be acted upon. Take time to check that your audience has understood. Encourage them to use techniques like clarification and checking to demonstrate that understanding. Above all, be open to questions, and consider giving your answer in different terms from your original message. 9. Interrupting other people. Interrupting someone else is both rude and dismissive. It tells other people that you value your opinion or words more highly than theirs. Alternatively, they may hear that you already believe you know what they are going to say, which is usually wrong. It is reasonable to wait until they draw breath, and then jump in. This is especially true if you are chairing a meeting in which this is happening, and then it is worth highlighting that they have taken a lot of air.
दोस्तों, कम्युनिकेशन करते वक्त वीडियो में दी गई पॉइंट्स को आजमाइएगा जरूर.
Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe the channel.